Hi, this is Tony Martin of Silver Horses.
Hi, this is Gianluca Galli of Silver Horses.
All music is the same. It's just a new set of lyrics and a new backbeat.
AndreGraziadei here for the Backbeat Experience in a chat with Tony Martin and
That's him.
Gianluca Galli.
That's me.
That's right. Oh, you guys switched bodies today?
Yeah, he looked better than me, so I thought I'd change.
Okay. Well, let's see now. Let's have a look or have a chat about your musical family background. Did you grow up in a musical family, or how did that come about?
I'm a child of the 70s, so that's a musical family in itself, I think.
Okay.
He's from the same musical family. So we're musical brothers, I think.
Exactly.
Musical. If you call the 1970s, but the 70s were cool, weren't they?
Absolutely. That was probably the best decade for music coming out of the 60s, put it that way.
Yeah, because the 60s was all peace and love. After the war, then they want to be all lovey and dovey and stuff. And then the 70s come and they want to be a bit more, okay, I'm fed up with the flowers now. So there is now we're getting into harder, heavier stuff. So the 70s, mind you, we had Slade and T-Rex. They weren't very heavy with them.
Yeah, the glam rock was kind of they needed a different twist there.
I wish they hadn't dressed them up better. But anyway, it was good. The 70s was cool, and that's where we come from. So those influences come with us. But along the way, we have worked with the people that came through the 70s. So the Sabbaths, the Whitesnakes, and the people. So that's why we still carry that with us.
Okay.
We're still very much in that era. Or sad bastards, as you might say.
Sad bastards. Okay, what did you? How was it at home? Did your parents play rock and roll, and you kind of were weaned on that, or?
No. I mean, my parents, they were supportive.
Supportive with apprehension, right?
They were supportive, but I think it was out of fear of what else I could be doing.
Really?
They were like, oh shit, there's drugs and stuff out there. I mean, it's better we just let him do the music. So I think it was, a kind of born out of fear. But they kind of didn't like the long hair thing at the time, and then they loved the long hair thing, and then they didn't like the hard rock thing, and they liked the hard rock thing. So parents you drag them along with you to a certain extent.
So that was in England. What was it like in Italy?
Well, yeah, I come from a family of musicians, basically.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I still have some musicians in my family, and same story more or less. I started playing music when I was 6, 7, something like that. So with guitar, with drums, and I also tried some piano or bass, and I never stopped basically. So it's sometimes I got problems with the neighbors, especially when I tried my first electric guitars. I remember one time I bought an overdrive pedal for the guitar, and it was in summer, so the window was open. I was playing, I was so excited to get my new overdrive, and suddenly somebody from outside threw a peach in my window.
A peach? Was it right?
I know.
Okay.
I was just playing my guitar. I said, "Psh, what was that?" And look, it was a peach. It was crashing the wall. But somebody was not really happy with that, with the electric guitar sound. So, yeah.
Was it your playing quality, or was it the music?
Probably both things. It was my first electric guitar, and then it was extremely loud. So yeah. I was like,
I don't know why that makes me laugh, but that is so funny.
Well, eat a peach, I guess. I don't know.
Not a rock or a brick.
Makes you wonder who threw it.
I don't know. Also because I live with my parents now, and the apartment is in the last floor, so it's very.
Holy crap!
I don't know.
So it was pretty high up.
It's pretty high up, so probably
It had to be a guy then. Somebody would aim.
Or I don't know. Maybe it was a neighbor from another building in front of us.
So what happened later when you were playing drums?
No, I never tried with drums.
Okay.
I never bought drums.
All right.
But the electric guitar. One time I had a small amplifier just for home, and
I'm still thinking about the peach.
it's real. At one time, the small amplifier was 12 volts. I put like 48. It was a crazy, incredible, beautiful sound, and then exploded after 2 minutes.
Fantastic.
They're really so make them and dead.
That's Italians for you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so that's the first experience.
Artistic justice. I don't know what you want to call it.
Please change the subject.
So,
die laughing.
what was the defining moment that turned things around for you guys as a professional artist? Of course, your parents being hesitant, and then the day came.
No, I mean, I did the normal, I did the school thing and college thing. In fact, college I learned about electronics. I got a certificate for electronic and engineering and stuff. So I did the whole, normal run. I didn't rebel exactly. But music came with me. So, in between and at the weekends and on the evenings I was doing music. So I still had a pretty normal life, really.
Okay.
Did you have a normal life? No, you've never been normal.
Not yet, no, not really. But yeah, basically, I just work as professional guitar player just for 4 or 5 years, not more. Mm. Also because in Italy, if you want to play as professional musician, you have to be either a teacher or maybe session man.
Session man, yeah.
And as a session man, just make some works for the television, for the radio station and stuff like that. They took pretty good money, but it was so horrible. It's so I decided to make another job and just make my music. It doesn't matter if for fun or professionalist, but I wanted to play my music and not something different.
Because as a session man, you never really get the recognition.
Absolutely.
No,
and then
really.
you have to be able to play everything.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you don't play anything because you are good for all, but you have no personality. You don't develop your creativity. So it's session, man. It's.
I find it difficult to be a session singer. I mean, I can't do sessions because my voice. No, more to the point, my brain won't allow me to do things that is not natural for me. So right. I always end up changing it so that it works with my voice anyway. It might be the key is different, or I need the chorus here. So snip, put it there. So I end up changing stuff. I'm not a very good session singer. In fact, I'm a terrible session singer because I have to change everything. But I am good when it comes to inventing and creating stuff. So. If people allow me to do that, which Gianluca did with the Silver Horses thing, he had no choice because I cut it up anyway. But if they allow me to do that, then it really works. And you probably won't be able to tell from the album by listening to it, but we did, some changing and moving around and stuff like that from the original idea. But it flows and it works. So,
So, which life lessons did you both get working with former bands?
Lessons
and artists. What kind of lessons in life did you get from that?
Okay, Dad, it's like this. We learned not to take drugs, and what else did we learn?
I don't know. It's
drink beer and stuff. Life lessons. I think it's basically about enjoying life. Life only comes around once.
You don't get a second chance.
No, I'm 60 years old now, so I do feel it, and I'm amazed that my life was in reverse. So when I was young, I was in a very famous band,
right?
And now I'm coming out of it, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm happy to relax now.
Okay.
Whereas some people, they work all their lives to achieve the best thing, and then they reach their pinnacle, and mine happened, and I'm tailing off it. So I don't have to. I can choose what I want to do.
Did you appreciate it at the time when it was there?
No. I mean, I wish I'd enjoyed it more, but to be honest, it was such an intense period that I was busy reading between the lines all the time to keep up with everything. But I'm still proud that I was there and did it. I'm happy that I did do it. But it is very much in reverse to the way most normal lives work. you start off as an apprentice and you work up your way up and you get to the pinnacle. I started at the top and then came down from there. But it's cool. I'm happy.
Was there a drawback looking back?
No.
Yeah, no. Okay.
You know, everything's got its
ups and downs.
Yeah, and drawbacks. Well,
No.
there's always a drawback. I mean, you would say travelling around the world is fun, but my God, you get bored with it very quickly. You know? It's like every day a different hotel, a different airplane, a different taxi, different everything, and you think, really, I'm getting bored with this. But you don't actually get bored with it. It's just you get tired of doing something.
That's why Neil Peart, the drummer from Rush, decided to. Well, he used to between concerts he would ride his bicycle, and then he switched over to motorcycle.
Okay.
So between concerts, he would take his motorcycle and go from A to B.
Lovely.
Instead of waiting and being on the bus and that.
Lovely.
So that was his way of dealing with that.
Lovely. Hey, I got the squeaky chair again. That's the second time today
Really?
I've had the squeaky chair. No, it's serious. This is like, is this like a conspiracy or something? Keep Tony Martin the squeaky chair. It makes me sound old. Oh, my joints. Sorry.
No problem. So, well, you mentioned that you were playing several instruments as well as you, Tony. So how's that influence? Does that influence the way you both perceive songwriting?
It does for me.
Yeah.
For you? I mean, for me, I find it really important to understand what the other instruments do. How can you write with not knowing? I mean, it makes sense surely to know what the other instruments do. So I enjoy playing about with stuff, picking up a violin or a bass guitar or keyboard or whatever, and just seeing what it does. I enjoy that because then I get an idea of what it can accomplish. I like that process, and I use it a lot. I mean, when I'm writing, it's not just rock music. I write pop music, reggae music, everything, and I'm one of the best reggae white guys. But for you, I don't know, did you just use it as a tool?
Well, yeah, for me, can I say, for me, it's a way for cleaning the mind in a way. I have been studying the instrument and music for a long time, both classical and jazz music. Playing rock music for me is turning into something that it's more familiar for me.
Okay.
So it comes everything very natural out, and when I play or when I get ideas and compose, I forget everything. And the thing that I like is that I don't want to have boundaries or rules. So, for example, I detune the guitar just by ear. I use many open tunings, especially for acoustic guitars.
Sounds
But
great.
I really don't know what the hell is it, because I try to find my own open tuning. If it sounds good, it's okay. I don't care if it's something that Jimmy Page did or somebody else did.
But that's the bottom line. You should be creating your own thing.
Yeah.
Not trying to duplicate something.
The
It
thing
doesn't
is
make any
that
sense.
sometimes I forget what I did and I don't find the tuning anymore. So
No, that's old age dying.
So the process is very creative in a very free way. So it's important. It cleans everything you have in your mind up, and it's necessary sometimes.
So that's your form of therapy. So what would you say is your favorite instrument?
Oh my God! I think the most fun I had laughed most was bagpipes.
Really?
And when I went to Scotland, somebody said, "Would you like to try?" Yeah. Okay. No, gently squeeze, like in rhythm. Like, okay, this is not the same rhythm as this. Okay, so all you have to do is make it breathe. Right, that's just to get air in. So now
Treat it like a woman. No?
making her breathe. Yeah, I can understand. Like,
Okay.
squeeze, baby. Yeah. Okay, so like squeeze. Yeah. Okay, now blow. this shit comes out the end of the pipe. Was that me? It's like, you do a really rude sound and you think, was that me?
Is that not comparative to drums? Because you got four,
Oh no,
two
that's
arms
just
and
like
two legs going.
ambidextrous. No, with
No?
the bagpipes you have a drone note which has always got that Oh, that's constant.
Right.
And then over the top of that, you have to play this melody. Which, how can you play this melody while it going and you it's just horrible.
So have you brought that into your music?
No.
No.
Because it's horrible. But it's the most fun.
Okay.
It's the most fun. I really enjoyed doing that. And then, you know, some of the other stuff, like it involves a lot of feel. So guitar, you have a lot of feel. Even harmonica, you can bend the notes and stuff like that. One of my favourite instruments is the Uilleann pipes, which is Irish bagpipes. Mm-hmm. They don't have the drone note. They only play the melody.
Okay.
So, and those, you could bend the notes. Oh, cool! That is so cool. So I love Irish folk music because it has a lot of that, you know, Uilleann pipes. But different instruments. What else was fun to? And I play violin, but I'm not. My hands are too big for violin.
Okay.
I've got the hands of Iron Man.
You got a pair of lunch mittens there. Right?
Yeah, I can get. Yeah. I could be a baseball player.
Was it you with a pitch?
Yeah, I mean.
You could catch a peach real good.
If I'd have been in that, I would have caught the peach. Peach. But all instruments are essentially fun to play, and I think, you know, it's great that the kids do that. I don't know about in Italy, but in England we were not allowed to take instruments to school. It was like Mozart and Bach and you know, all the rest of the stuff. And the school teacher and really, okay, and write it down. So Bach did this and that. So if we ever took a guitar or, you know, anything to school, you must stop bringing instruments to school. That is disrespectful, and like, and all that shit. So I got expelled once for playing T-Rex, Ride a White Swan on the organ. And then, what else did I get banned for? Something, you know, outrageous. But today the kids are encouraged to take the instruments into school. My children, you know, they form bands and they have one of the classrooms and they write and play, and stuff like that, which is awesome. That's really cool.
Like School of Rock.
Yeah, School of Rock. But in my day, we weren't allowed to do that, so I was sadly lacking in some areas.
True. So what about you? What would be your favorite instrument?
I love
the Mongolian nose flute.
It's so small.
Yeah. Oh shit! I sniff it. I breathed in instead of blowing out, and now to the back of my skull. Throw the peach quick.
No, I really love the drums, but I can't play that so much. But the drums for me, also in composing music, is the first thing.
Yeah.
The groove and the drumming, and then I play guitar, and I started playing guitar very young. But I don't have a guitar as a favorite instrument. A strings instrument, I love that very much. One time I was with my wife in Greece, and walking on the street, I saw a very old man who was playing a kind of strange instrument, like I couldn't describe it like a violin, but it was with a bow.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was incredibly virtuoso. It was like this, and the say, oh,
How did it go?
I bought that. See, it was selling strange, so fun, and I said, I need to buy one. So it was also very, very cheap. It was made like a simple wood and nothing special. Mm-hmm. So I got back to the hotel, saying, "Yeah, now I tried that." Said, nothing. You know, now they said, what's the shade?
They forgot to sell you the instruction book.
Yeah, definitely. So that's I try with you know, I give some wax to the bow. Mm-hmm. And then it was even worse because nothing. So I said, okay, then I changed the strings. I put metal strings in it, so it was the end. And now, since then, it's about 20 years ago, the instrument is like, you know, in my
collecting dust.
Yes, there with some.
He hangs his keys on it down.
Cautions and stuff. It's
yeah.
So
looking at the songs for this Silver Horses album. You sent some songs to Tony, and you rewrote them, and it was kind of like, you know, as far as the writing process is concerned?
Not exactly rewrote them, but I mean, the music was pretty good anyway. and it's what really inspired me from listening to the music. They send me the backing track,
Right.
so it's the bass, the drums, the guitar, with their idea of how the format is, verse, chorus, bridge, solo, chorus, whatever. And then when I play it, I just visualize the vocal to it. With me, it's pretty instant. When I hear something good, my voice, I automatically just start singing.
So stream of consciousness.
So it's I've got used to looking for certain things, and with this stuff, it only needed a few changes just to make the story work. So that you've got verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, maybe a solo, so it was that kind of stuff. Not the chords or the key or the style or anything. It was just where do I sing the verse?
So fine tuning.
That kind of thing. So with just a few changes, and it really, really inspired me. And I was dancing around the house, and then I found myself singing the damn riffs in the car. And I go, shut up! Shut up! And I'm just like, wama.
Yeah, that's.
And I'm just like, this stuff's stuck in my head. Okay, right, this must be good because I can't get rid of the fucking thing out of my head.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah. So I worked with it, and it was lovely. It was lovely, and I really enjoyed writing the songs. And the music for us is never a problem. We've had some issues with the political thing and the contractual thing, which we've got fixed now. But for a while it stopped us dead. That's why we had a release in 2012 and then restarted again with a reissue. But it feels good now. We're all talking again.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it helps if you speak.
Well, did you guys record this together, or was it separate tracks?
Well, we started separate. I mean, they posted the stuff through the internet to me, and then I worked at home and did the vocal ideas, sent it back to them to see what their reaction would be, and they, liked it. So then the next natural process for the guys was to go back to the studio and finish it there. But that doesn't always happen. I mean, sometimes I just record the voice, send them the vocal track, and then they lay it into the song wherever they are around the world.
Okay. Well, that's the beauty of digital today.
Yeah. It does help us, but it also ruined the music industry, the digital thing. So
unfortunately, yeah.
It's on balance. It's like helps and hindered at the same time.
So this album was given birth, but not allowed to grow.
Yes.
How did you get your differences settled to get this project back on track?
Well, I mean, contractual things are technical items that involve lawyers and ideas and rules and stuff like that, and you can get really heavy. The problem, really was we had a contract that was changed after the event. So how can you work with something that changes later on? So we had to fix all of that, and then it gets heavy. And then when people stop talking, then you have to take a step back and then come back at it a different way. It's worked out good. There's just one or two things to still fix, but it's basically worked out fine. What we're really pleased about is that the music is still working, and we've already started writing stuff for the second Silver Horses album. So we know that the music works, and we know that we like each other, and we know that we can work together. It's the technical shit that, Have you seen Spinal Tap?
Yes.
That's true.
That is like the most...
the Bible of like...
Exactly. Yeah. It's the epitome of rock.
It's like that. You get like just little things that become big shit, and then you have to take a step back. But it's life, and it's not unusual. Bands go through that. It's not a crazy thing. It's not an impossible thing. It's just shit that happens sometimes.
So now that this baby's grown up, how will you guys be raising it?
Well, first, with the help of people like you, we reach out to the audience and see what the response is. If they say shit, we don't care about it. If they like it, then there's a possibility.
They say leave this one in the crib.
Yeah, this baby's too ugly to meet the world. We just don't want this baby on the street. No, we have the option really, but I feel confident. I mean, it's lovely music. It's great. So why not?
So what can we expect from?
If I may just add to that,
Yeah, go ahead.
there's far lot worse things out there.
Oh,
right?
Oh my goodness, definitely.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah, especially if I look at a lot of the TV shows today, you know, they call that talent. I mean, please.
Yeah. So sorry to interrupt you.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay. So 2017, we'll see a new album. What can we expect from that?
More of the same, but you know, I really have faith that the guys will test me. They'll be sending music that, you know, okay, Mr. Smartass, we'll see what you do with this one. And, you know, and I will rise to the challenge and do my thing. But I have a lot of experience with music from all kinds of genres, so it's hard for me not to be able to fix most things. Some things I will just refuse straight away. Not very often, but sometimes stuff comes into me and I just go, no, just no. But mostly, 90% of the time I will find a way to make it work. And I love that. It's like solving a murder mystery.
Well, you did that with the album where you recorded a song with no vocals.
Even with Black Sabbath. I said, work the same way. Tony Iommi would give me riffs and I would go, what? Seriously? I mean, how am I supposed to put these together? But I would take my own 8-track little mobile studio to the rehearsals, and then I'd say, okay, you guys fuck off a minute, I'm just going, and I would just like edit stuff and put things, and I would give them a cassette, in those days a cassette, and say, what do you think of that? And I'd give them 4 options usually, and they'd say, number 3. Okay, so I'd go back and then I'd sing something, and then I'd say, what do you think of that one? Okay, cool, and then we'd come in and play it. So I've always done that. That's the way I've always worked. And my brain won't let me work anywhere else. It's like I said before, I have to. It has to be right for my voice. If my voice doesn't work, I don't work.
Mm-hmm. So. As I mentioned, I read on your Facebook that you recorded a song without vocals.
Oh, with Magnus Rosen, bass player from Hammerfall. He does a lot of this cultural stuff where he will have an orchestra in a factory somewhere. Then he will get like the mayor and the police officer, and they will sit with their suits and stuff, you know, do all this like wonderful. And then he will be like rah with his bass guitar, but then put an orchestra behind it, and he does all that sort of stuff. So he sent me this music and said, Tony, I would really like you to sing for me. And I went, yeah, Magnus, no problem. He said, but I want you to sing with no words. What? How do you sing with no words? He said, well, you know, make vocal sounds. I don't know, you're the singer. Oh, right, okay. So like this thing was, if you can imagine, it's like operatic, it's like piano. So it's all pretty. What the fuck do I do with that? So then all I could do was like, I visualize sections where the voice would work. Mm-hmm. Forget the rest up until the next section where the voice would work. Forget the rest until the next section where the voice would work. So I did an operatic harmonic thing. La, and did a whole, I think 100 voices of like choir. And then I did a nah, yeah, and I did like a blues thing. And then I did like another section with something else. And I just kept adding like stuff to it. And then I sent it off and then hid and waited for the reply. And it was like, oh, it's fucking awesome. That's really cool.
Well, now I'm curious. I'm really curious to someday hear that.
It is. It's very interesting. It's the first time I've ever sang without lyrics. But it worked, and so I'm going to Sweden in June to promote it with all sorts of people, and yeah, see how that goes.
Okay, cool. So I go to the next question. So 2016 has taken many a great musician from us. Many songs have been written about our longevity here on Earth. Neil Young, Better to Rust Than to Fade Away, or The Who. What was the Who? Hope I Die Before I Get Old.
How about that? I bet they're not saying that now.
No, I don't think so. So what would you guys want to be remembered for? Difficult question to answer.
I'm not quite sure. What would I like to be remembered for? My amenable personality. I don't know. Feels like a job interview, doesn't it? What would I like to be remembered for? I guess, I would be really happy if my work lived through past, my years, and didn't just fade away. But every musician would want that, I think.
I agree.
Apart from that, I'd like to say my big cock, but that's not going to work. What else could it be?
Unless you meet Cynthia Plastercaster, then it's a different story. That's a different story.
Cynthia Plastercaster.
You've heard of her?
No.
No. She's the one who, in the late '60s and early '70s, she would make plaster casts of people's penises.
Yes.
Foremost musicians.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, you can do that yourself now. You can buy it yourself.
True.
Apparently. How to ruin an interview.
So, all right. So, how
you can edit that bit out.
Yeah. How do you prefer to spend your vacation time?
Vacation time.
What's vacation? Do you get vacations?
Where? When?
Okay, vacation. For me, I love Italy because my grandmother was Italian and I have a lot of connections through music with Italy, so I like to go there. But, vacation time can be a simple thing just by driving into the country in England. We have a great affection for Cornwall, south, west of England. It's very dramatic down there and the sea is rough and loud and spits at you and does stuff, so that's really cool. But vacation, anything away from the kids, I guess.
Okay, free time.
Yeah, anything that doesn't involve children is vacation.
All right, so you guys mentioned different musical directions. What would technically be your guilty musical pleasure? Like I say, country, opera, classical, whatever. Whatever you sit in the car and you listen to that no one else would think you would.
You say country, right?
Right.
Some country sounds more rock and roll than rock and roll.
These days, yes, the new country. Yeah.
We've got a band. We've got a band. A band called Lady Antebellum.
Right.
And they do. Are they Canadian?
That's more pop than I think they're
but
American.
It's still rock
They're
and
more.
roll.
But
and they got melody in there, and I'm thinking, with a little change, that could be quite, rock song. There, you got
definitely
some stuff in there, and I find a lot of the country music inspires me quite a lot because the voices is a big thing in country.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, obviously being a singer, I concentrate on those kind of aspects of it. But they're also very talented, and I love the steel guitar thing where they get those
loud guitar
working. Yeah, that's very sneaky stuff. They make notes appear from nowhere. But it's like that's pretty cool. So you could find me listening to Lady Antebellum or something country-fied.
Okay.
Or reggae.
Reggae. Of course, you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, I work for some reggae.
I can't suffer reggae. It's I really no. It's
not Bob Marley, nobody.
No, God.
No.
No. I don't like reggae. I don't like punk. I don't. There are a few things I like actually.
Yeah. Okay, we go get divorced then.
No, I mean, until music is well played, and well produced, and well done, honestly, I like it. Also reggae. There are some things from Bob Marley, of course, and other stuff. But the music for me has to be various. Reggae is always the same.
Mm-hmm.
Punk is always the same, more or less. Come on, it's you will never heard some influences in the reggae music.
Yeah, there's lots. You just gotta listen.
Maybe.
I'll teach you.
Okay. Next song would be a reggae song. I don't know. I listen to everything. We're just talking today about music and entertainment. When you listen to entertainment artists, like many are in the charts today, to me it sounds like a fake. A project made for making money, and that's something that I really don't like. But until music is the result of passion and study of the instrument, it doesn't matter if you read music or not, the passion you have to put it is important. No, it's...
I've just thought of something. So we've got the Eurovision Song Contest tonight.
Yeah?
Right? So that, to me, that's
Do we have
fake.
to go there or what?
That's fake. No. Well, if you want... No, we're playing.
Are we playing?
No. So if you... That, to me, that's fake.
Yeah, too.
Like the whole,
I agree.
you know, Eurovision thing.
That goes together with a lot of the TV shows they have on today.
Yeah, it's a talent more or less. Come on, it's.
But
more
I
or
do
less a
like,
story.
you know, we have Britain's Got Talent and The Voice. I love the concept where the judges are sitting backwards.
And they don't see.
They don't see.
Right.
So when they turn around and there can be some surprises.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's a great idea.
That concept appeals to me, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great show, and the idea of that is cool. I sometimes don't understand, you know, the decisions, but it's basically the idea is very cool. Britain's Got Talent, Germany's Got Talent, you know, all of the things. It throws out some fantastic things. There's some shit in there, but it throws out some fantastic things. We were talking earlier about a Russian girl that won the Russia's Got Talent, and she did a sand sculpture. So she has a light box, and she scatters sand on it.
Right.
And then she told a story of a First World War sailor who goes away from his family, leaves the children behind, and she's sculpting it all out of sand. They've got some music playing, and then he comes home and they're all crying and all that stuff. It's beautiful, really, really cool. I just think, you know, you would never have seen that kind of thing unless it was for those kind of programs. So I do like them. I think that they've got a place in the world, you know, even though some of it's shit. I think it's pretty cool.
Well, I've been listening to the album for the past week, and I have to say I'm very impressed by it. Definitely, there's this the White Snake and the Purple and the Zeppelin. Of course, Zeppelin. I was listening to the Silver Horses. You got the Kashmir riff in there.
Yeah.
If I think back, Zeppelin these days is now being sued because Stairway to Heaven was taken from Spirit.
That's what they say.
Wow.
They deny it, don't they?
I listened to it, and it's pretty much almost note for note.
It is, but fortunately, the rest of the song is nothing like it. So, you know.
But I mean, there's the heavy drums there, which I
intro
really,
riff.
I found that the drums were great.
Guys, who cares about it? I mean, basically, if you listen to the first Zeppelin album or even the second, it's kind of cover band. You know, they took the old blues stuff, and nowadays many people think they have been written by Led Zeppelin. They don't even know that they were.
They put their own spin on it.
Yeah. So,
I mean, we all take, and I say very often that we worked with the people, you know, that wrote that stuff, the Black Sabbaths, the White Snakes, the people that, you know, came up with those ideas.
Right.
So it does come with us because we were there working with those people. So, you know, for us, it's not a problem. We don't see how what we used to do is a problem now, because that's what we did and that's what we still do. But if you suddenly came up with a new act that had nothing to do with it and they are playing those riffs, then you would understand it being copied. But for us, we were either in the band or worked with the band, or, you know,
that's rock DNA.
And that's where we came from.
Yeah.
So that's why we carry those riffs and those sounds with us. But it's like Gianluca said, I mean, we don't really care. It's not, I mean, who really cares? There is only 8 notes in a musical scale.
Isn't it 12?
Yeah, kind of, but you got to, you know, not all of them work together all at the same time. You know what I mean? You could put them all in at the same time, but it's going to sound pretty shit.
Right.
But basically, you get like 8 options for the first note, then it's 8 times 8 for the second note, then it's 8 times 8 times 8 for the third note. So you've got a huge mathematical thing. But, you know, the music is music, and whatever it throws up is usually good. I mean, it can be ruined, but mostly I think music's great, don't you?
Yeah.
On the whole.
What's the universal language?
It is, and it makes people feel things, it makes people cry, it makes people happy, it makes people, you know, reminisce about stuff. So on the whole, I'm quite hopeful for the music thing in general. And, you know, in some way the music business, even though it's ruined at the moment, I do have hope for it. You know.
That's the only thing left? Hope?
No, it's not the only thing left, because I know, I work with, we both do actually, work with younger artists. We call them artists, and they are. The kids of today have got a fantastic grip on music.
Well, that's good to hear, because if you think of Guitar Hero,
really
you know, I mean,
is.
that's not playing guitar. I mean.
No, but I work with bands who have got a very good grip on melody, on lyrics, on riffs, on, you know, how to assemble songs, and, you know, how to perform songs. They know their instruments, you know, it's just great. And you think, wow, I couldn't even do that when I was their age, do you know what I mean? So I do see a lot of talent out there. I had a bit of an argument with Hans yesterday about the record companies don't do enough. They don't see,
Right.
the talent that's out there. All they see is something they can sell.
The bottom line.
And then buy,
Yeah.
and then the next one, buy. The next Metallica, buy. The next Black Sabbath, buy. But when we were young, in the 70s, there was only one David Bowie, there was only one Led Zeppelin, there was only one UB40, there was only one, because the record companies in those days concentrated on making those acts.
They backed them.
They backed them. Now, we're the last generation to sign the old kind of record deal where you had that support and where they give you a 5-year deal.
Right.
Merchandise was not included in your deal and publishing was not included in your deal. You had an A&I guy would come to the rehearsals and listen to the stuff, or come to the studio and guys, that sounds cool. We could use this for the album cover and we could do this and that. You don't get
That input's not there anymore.
So the relationship has gone.
Yeah.
And I think we need, my argument yesterday with the Seven Hard guys was we need to get that relationship back. So, because if you think about it, David Bowie's dead, but his music's still selling, and it'll sell for years after he's gone. Elvis Presley, his music is selling for years.
Yeah.
In the long run, by making that a unique artist, you earn money for decades after they've gone.
Yeah.
So I think there's a mistake here by the record labels. They're concentrating on this fast turnaround, whiz, copy thing, and I think they're missing the point. That there is fantastic talent out there. The kids have got it. Just got to concentrate on it, develop it, make it into something unique, and then run with that.
Yeah.
And then they will reward you, through the years. I'm talking shit on our.
No, that's actually it's your view on the music system today, and I have to agree with it.
It's interesting, ain't it? And I'd like to see something change. I would hope that eventually the record labels pick up on it, but for the kids, don't stop. I mean,
do your thing and
do your thing, and they do it, at home.
Yeah.
Kids play in their bedrooms and make sounds and get it together. So it's all possible. Just
All right, this is something I do to wind up the interview. Sometimes I do either or. So I'm going to give you 2 words, and you have to pick either or.
All right.
All right. So seafood or steak?
Steak. Steak.
Okay. I thought maybe being from Italy, you would like seafood.
Yeah, I thought he was going to say seafood.
All right. So red.
This is like Mr. and Mrs. Do you know
Is
that
it?
program?
So
I have to wear the headphones.
let's see now. Red or blue?
Red.
That's interesting because I love the warmth of red, but I'd go blue. I would. I
Okay.
think blue.
Planes or trains?
Planes.
Planes.
Okay.
Definitely planes.
All right.
Do we get a reward after that?
No.
Okay.
Nighttime or daytime?
Oh God, I would love it to be daytime, but I'm usually up in the night time, so
So at least you're
I like-
unified on that one.
I like the early morning.
So that means you can work together.
Yeah.
Rock concert or symphony orchestra?
Rock concert.
Yeah, I guess what.
He's torn. He's torn between.
I like the orchestral thing, and it's such a big sound when you're in the room and they're
Yeah,
all
that's
kicking
true.
off.
Uh-huh.
Like
I would say it depends. Who's playing?
no, I can see, and I've been in the room where the orchestra's playing, and when you have a big choir and it's all kicking off, it sounds big. But I'm just going with the rock thing because I'm wearing black, so orchestra.
Ding. Tony, thank you.
Did I fail, Mr. Luba?
Thank you. That was a very interesting chat.